I've been thinking a lot about the way I dress. I'm 50 years old. So what does that mean? First of all, I realized that this shirt I would wear at any decade in my life. So I could see multiple ages of me wearing a variation of this type of shirt. Is it is there a thing like you're too old for that style? Does this fall under it? I don't feel like it does. But what I have retired, the version of clothing that I have retired are the um the the club gear. I don't know what to call it because the thing is we used to call it slutty, provocative, um I don't other words I can't think of right now, but uh those words, I could see why they're very strange feeling words because I feel like those are the words that are supposed to be bleeped out or something right now, but they were thrown out as regular language. And if I told you right now the clothing that I'm talking about that I wore like in my teens, 20s, maybe even in my 30s, I don't know, as long as I felt that way. I no longer do, but here's what it is. It's a belly shirts, it's shorter skirts, it's stuff that I think to people now they'd be like, "Ooh, look at you." And I'm like, "Well, that sound could have been made, the ooh, look at you, could have been made for knees in another time, for clavicles in some cultures. Like I get that we decide what is provocative and what does that word mean, that we're provoking? Um I get that it means sexy, like in we decide what's attractive based on, I don't know, some sort of agreement with somebody or something or some god or um, just some people. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So what I was thinking is what I thought was, a little sexy. I started thinking, why did I dress like that? Was it my style? And in a way, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun dressing kind of flirty and, feeling sexy. Um, But I don't think I did that consciously. What I'm realizing I did, and maybe this is going to be like a duh moment for everybody else, but I didn't feel pretty. I didn't think I can be pretty. Like there was no clothes or makeup that would make me pretty. But being sexy is so much easier than being pretty. Now, yes, I'm making all this up. It's all in my head, but like I feel like there were some things that were dictating that to me. And whenever I feel like people in that time could say like, no, that's, we can look back with 2020 vision and just see, the toxicity that, has thankfully been cleared a little bit from these words and these ideas. Wow, I hope I'm not going too far off, but here was my feeling. I understood that when you look good, when people find you attractive, things are easier. People listen. It's either that or you might actually just have life just kind of happen. And I think that scared me, and I just wanted to use whatever I had to make sure that I am at least attractive, and so that people won't, because it felt like unless you were attracted to me, you were grossed out by me. Like there wasn't any kind of in between. I would just kind of get like, just give off ick factor unless I make sure that I am somewhat attractive as much as these features can. These are what the thoughts were. And you can't really, I think I am reminded of, what was her name? I think her name was Susan Boyle, who was on one of those America the Great, We Have Talent and Let's, Test You.com shows, like the ones that, here show us talent. and she came on stage, and now I did not watch this. I heard the legend of this the day after when people were like, oh, did you hear about this person who came on? And we couldn't even believe she was allowed on stage type feeling. Like, how we thought it was a prank. There were murmurs happening. And I think the lesson that people were saying was, look at us. We really learned a lesson. We really believe that this woman can look like that and sing beautifully, can be so unattractive. Like, we didn't even think, and none of us were attracted to her. And we understood that she still has value. She could still sing. We all collectively learned a lesson. This was, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but this was the air. This was in the air. Like, maybe we should listen to ugly. Hey, we learned something today. We should listen to people that we don't find attractive. Like not even a little bit. Like, not even a little. I can't imagine how she was sitting there going like, wow, I didn't know I was that unattractive. Like, my God, I knew I wasn't a model, but holy wow. Okay, I thought I was trying. So anyway, I don't know, because it's fun to dress up. It's fun to dress down. It's fun to wear sweatpants. But I don't know. People have the reactions that they have. I think that we're progressing in a way, hopefully, where we could see beyond it, or at least to like hear the first few sentences out of people's mouths. I don't know. It feels like we could do that, but I can't say I'm not judgy. My eyes are judgy. They're judgy. I judge me in my own mirror. I've dimmed it down. I think that's what we're asking. That's what I'm asking. Can you dim it down a little bit? Like, dim down needing to find someone so attractive that you actually listen to them. Just dim down that feeling. Maybe recognize, let's see each other in other ways. Wow, I'm getting into a very, very hippie mindset. And there I am judging myself for that, because that's actually the stuff that I really like about hippies. So maybe I should stop stopping myself from going into that state of mind. That's my thought of the day. I'm just thinking back and trying to remember that I enjoyed myself and made mistakes, and it wasn't all good and all bad. And it's just weird to look back on life and to say, with 2020 vision, I could have made different choices. I always think, every time I think that, I have to remember that when I go back with 2020 vision and I think I could have made this better, there was always a way that I could have made it worse. And that doesn't mean that I would make the same mistake. It would mean that I would cross the street a different way and just get run over and killed. Like, there is the opposite, worse way that it could have happened. And it's not like we can change it anyway. So I have 50 years of life to look back on. I think I need to remember to look back on it like it's a rearview mirror. I have to like look forward also and stop, just check the rear view, not stay there. And now maybe I'm just saying cliche after cliche. So I'm going to wrap it up. And thank you for listening. It would help me if you pressed buttons in front of you. Like, I like when you comment, and I can see sometimes, I think, the sharing. That's kind of cool. And I appreciate it. Bye.